So, namaste. Good morning. I'll just introduce myself and then got like a minute or two, so get the talking bit done. So my name is Deepika. I'm one of the senior yoga teachers of the Gitananda tradition. Some of you might have met my teacher, Dr. Ananda, if you've come to a previous festival from Ananda Ashram. I'm co-founder of Yoga Satsanga Ashrams. We have an ashram in West Wales, which is on the Carmarthenshire-Pembrokeshire border. We do residential training. So as I said, I'm a senior Gitananda yoga teacher. There's only 3 of us in the UK, but I've actually brought one today with me from Cyprus, Anandi, who we also train together. And she's going to be going around just making sure everyone knows what they're doing. So if you see her wandering around, she's with me. Okay. So she flew here from Cyprus last night. So I'm going to be teaching you the Hatha sequence today, which is one of the most important and central practices of the Gitananda Paramparai. So it's a lung opening, lung forcing technique where we will stretch and open out the lungs so that we can actually properly practice pranayama. It's something that, as I've been taught, we can't really practice pranayama unless we're breathing to at least more than 60% of our lung capacity. Mostly we don't breathe well anyway in the modern day living because we're all a bit stressed and our nervous system is in bits. So this practice is to really open the lungs up, and I can promise you that it works really well. And this is speaking from someone who had quite severe breathing difficulties growing up, and I was even on life support for 3 days. So I really had some severe respiratory asthma problems. And these practices completely and utterly changed my life. So I can just tell you from my heart that this is a really amazing practice to learn. Like all practices, you have to keep practicing them for them to take effect. But at least today I can show you the practice, and my plan is that we'll do this every morning, and we're going to keep building the practice up and making a few changes each morning. So I'll be here every morning. We're going to start off with some jatis, we call them, so a bit of loosening up, warming up first, and then we'll go into a Hatha practice where we open up the 3 main section of our lungs, which is the lower lobes of the lungs, the midsection and the upper lobes, just to keep it simple for now, and then I'll go into more detail about the practice as we go along. Okay, are we ready? Yes. Always ready. Great. Okay, so let's just start by sitting. As my guru says, sit up, sit straight, and be quiet and listen. So let's try to do that. Let's just close the eyes if that's comfortable for you. And we're going to gently lift up consciously through your spine, all the way up to your neck. And let's now bring the mind to the breath. Try to feel now your lungs. In yoga, we talk about the lungs, the lower, the mid and the upper lobes. And the breath flows in, or is drawn in as the diaphragm is drawn down, into the lower lobes first, then the midsection, and then the upper lobes of your lungs. And as you breathe out, it empties as the diaphragm recoils up on your exhale, emptying the lower, then mid, and then upper lobes of the lungs. I'm just going to guide a few rounds of our Sukha rhythm, Pranayama, which is just a simple 6 in and 6 count out breath. So just breathe out to start. breathe in. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Keep going. Keep consciously breathing into the lower, then mid, then upper lobes of your lungs. Exhaling lower, mid, upper lobes. As you breathe, also try to feel into the front, side, and the back of the lungs. And as you exhale, it leaves the back, side, and then the front. Where the mind goes, the prana flows. Comes from our scriptures. Try to bring your mind fully, intentionally into your lungs. And slowly, gently bring the palms to the heart. I'm just going to chant the Ganesh and Guru Gayatri. Om Tat Ganeshaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dantahi Prachodayate Om Tat Paramparyaya Vidmahe Jnana Lingeshwaraya Dhimahi Tanno Guruhu Prachodayate Om Yoga Maharishi Dr. Swami Gitananda Giri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Let's give your palms a rub now. Get some heat, energy in the hands. And let's just cup the eyes and just blink into your palms or look up, down, left, right. And one more time with the palms. Cup the eyes and look. Circle the eyes one way and the other. And then gently just sweep over your head. And give a nice squeeze down the shoulders, arms, fingertips. Shake. Okay, and then we're going to stretch out our legs, do a few of our warm-ups. Stretch out and bounce the knees, wiggle your toes. Don't forget to breathe deep. I'll constantly say this because we constantly forget. So let's roll into the ankles now. Nice deep breaths and just feel into your ankle joints. And the other way. Let's flex one foot forward, one back. Let's bounce the legs open and closed, just to the edge of your mat and back. Quite big into our warm-ups in this tradition. Let's keep the heels to the edge of the mat, and as you breathe in, roll the toes in to the center. And as you breathe out, roll your toes out. Again, keep going. Breathing in as you roll the toes in. Breathe out, roll the toes out. Let's do a few rounds with the breath. And then circle here, both ways. Bounce back to center. Legs together, and we're going to breathe in, draw your toes back. Breathe out, push away. Let's keep going. Stretch along the legs. This is one way to make people breathe, is to do it with movement. So, it's a good tip. Bounce the legs. Let's lift one knee and the other. I'm going to practice our Pranayama Kriyas, so it's a digestive health practice. Catch your right leg. Breathe in, give a squeeze, and now whoosh out and kick out. Bit of effort. In. In. And left leg. In. 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 And bounce and shake. Catch your right leg. Flex your foot up and down. Roll into the ankle. Breathe. Are you breathing? I can hear you. Okay, into the knee. Go both ways. Let's just catch the foot and the knee and just rock side to side. Let's catch the foot, right hand, right foot, extend the leg and just gently swing. Watch your neighbours. Nice deep breaths. And we're going to hold the leg open. Let's just turn the head to the left. Take a breath here. And we cross the leg over. We're going to switch hands. Bring your right hand behind, look over the right shoulder, take a breath. Release. And catch your left leg now. Let's repeat on the other side. So just flex the ankle, roll into your knee joint, both ways. Breathe. Everyone stop breathing again. Catch your foot and knee. Am I going to have to get my stick out? Side to side. Just complete breathing. Yeah. Lower, mid and upper lobes. I'll talk more. Okay, catch the foot. Left hand, left foot. Extend the leg. Let's do a gentle swing back and forth. Breathe. And we're going to hold the leg open now. Head to the right. Take a breath. Just release. Another little bounce. I'm going to bring our feet together. Pranayama Kriya. Bounce the knees. Just breathe and feel into your pelvis. Let's just hold here. Draw the knees toward the mat. And we're going to cross the legs. Let's do a few circles. One way and the other. Right, let's lift up. Now breathe in, open the chest, lift the chin. Breathe out, arch the spine, chin down, draw back your abdomen. Again, breathe in, open up, fill your lungs. Out. In. Out. Pull back the abdomen. And gently release. And we're going to start to roll our shoulders. Back. Forward. Just move into our elbows. Keep breathing deep. Remember, where the mind goes, the prana flows. Let's come into the wrists now. Circle the wrists. Feel your wrist joints. Up and down. Flex the hands. Side to side. Let's circle the thumbs. Let's see if you can circle each finger individually, one by one. And let's see if you can concentrate on circling the fingers and breathe deep at the same time. And then when you're done, start to open and close the fists. And shake. We're just going to have a clean and cleanse of our space. So just imagine we're cleaning up, purifying tensions, toxins, tiredness, whatever's in your space, energetic space. We're going to gather up and take a deep breath in. Whoosh it out. Let's do another one. 3 is a number for manifestation. So we're going to do it 3 times. Let's clean, cleanse, deep breath in. Whoosh out. One more. Come on. Like you mean it. Clean, cleanse, deep breath in. Let's get rid of it. Take a breath. Now just drop your chin. You're going to roll the head to the right. Now, breathe out tension or stiffness. Go 3 times to the right. Just carefully release with the out-breath. Out-breath is an opportunity always to let go. Let something go. 3 to the left when you're ready. And whenever you complete that, just gently shake your head side to side. Shake your arms, shake your legs. Make a noise. Great. Let's have a sip of water. I'm going to keep hydrated. It's good to be a bit silly now and again, just to get rid of any of those ego things going on. Okay, we're going to come up to all fours after you've had your water. Chatuspada Kriya, and we're going to just have a little crawl around the mat. Again, one of our central staple practices in our Gitananda tradition. Do a bit of crawling. Great for our back health. And breathe. Breathe deep. Come to the center of the mat and you're going to push back. Shashanka, forehead on the mat. I'm just going to relax here for a few breaths. Let go. Gently, you're going to lift up. Okay, so So I'm going to start the practice, the Hathina practice, the lung opening, lung forcing techniques. So some of it can be quite challenging, but hopefully there's different options. So just to start off, before we go into our asanas, we're going to practice our Mukha Bhastrika. So this is the cleansing breath. This is to clear out any toxins we might have sitting in the lungs now. So I'll demonstrate one. So we take a deep breath in through the nose, and then we blast out through the mouth. We use Kaki Mudra, which is like a crow's beak with the mouth. And then we're going to bring the head down to the mat, and we keep blasting the breath out, drawing and pumping the abdomen back. Don't breathe in. You only breathe in when you lift up again. I'll just show you one. So, and then in. Make sure you lift the chin first and then the chest. Okay, so really empty out the lungs there. Okay, let's do 3 rounds together. So deep breath in, fill your lungs, blast out. Great, breathe in and lift your chin first, then the chest. And again, breathe out and blast, blast. One more round. Just hold here for a breath, catch your feet, Dharmakasana, the devotional pose. And then lift your chin, then the chest, breathe in. We just balance with a gentle back bend, bring the hands behind you, lift up with the chest, head back, take a breath here. And release. Great. So we're going to practice our Ustra, camel variations, and we do it with the breath. So again, I'll show you and then you copy. So I'm going to breathe out here. Our first Ustra, camel. We breathe in, lift up and bend back. You're at the peak of the back bend. The air is going into these lower lobes. And breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's give it a whirl. When you're ready, just breathe out to start. Breathe in as you lift. Breathing in, force the air into the lower lobes. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. In. Out. And one more. In. Lovely. And out. Great. And just take a breath. So I think I'm going to, before I do the next 2, I just need to, I don't really want to cough in everyone's faces. It does make you cough and everything, these practices, okay, because you're starting to clear out the lungs. So don't worry if that's happening. So we're going to use Sparsha Mudra just to try and draw our attention into the lungs. So Sparsha Mudra is just the flat palms, and it helps us anchor the mind into the different parts of our lungs. So just feel now, where's the bottom rib cage, the last rib in your front lower lobes, and just bring the palms there. So the little finger is kind of touching that last rib. Yeah, and make sure the fingers are together. And then as you breathe out, the fingertips will draw together, maybe touch. And as you breathe in, they'll open up. Okay, let's just take 3 breaths. Breathe out. You'll feel behind your palms on the lower lobes. And breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. Lovely. And just release. Take a breath. So that first movement we did actually opens up this front lower lobe. So we're just going to do one more of those, just to try now to feel as you breathe in, it's really going to that area where your palms were. So breathe out, breathe in, lift up, bend back, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. Now bring our Sparsha Mudra to the side of the lower lobes of the lungs. Okay, so again you can feel the bottom of the rib cage there on the little finger, side lower lobes. Breathe out. Breathe in. Feel behind the palms. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Great. Our next Ustra is going to help open up those side lobes, our next camel variation. So this time, if you can, fingertips toward the toes. I'll show you one. We breathe in, lift up. Out, release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's try 3 rounds of that. So breathe out to start. And breathe in, lift up, feel into the side, lower lobes. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Lovely. Release. If you want to release your ankles, because it is a lot of work, and if you're not used to it, I've been subjected to hours and hours and hours of sitting like this. So give them a shake if you need. And have a sip of water. Prana flows much better on a hydrated body. So we are pro-hydration tradition, because we are mostly dehydrated anyway. So we're going to move to the working on the back of the lower lobes of the lungs. So we're going to bring our Sparsha Mudra, flat palm, onto the back of your lower lobes. Just goes ever so slightly up here at the back. So feel behind your palms, breathe out, in, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, out, in, out. Release, might give the hands a shake, a bit of pressure on the wrist there. So our Ustra variation to reach into the back of the lower lobes is quite a strenuous one, so if you need to just repeat one of the previous variations, it's okay. So we're going to come into our full camel and we're going to perform the Mukha Bhastrika in that. So I'll demonstrate. You can either have the flat feet or tuck under with the toes if you need. We're going to stretch back here, feel into the back. Oh, there goes my headset. Okay, and it's so that really reaches into the back. That really reaches into the back. Okay, so let's have a go. I'm probably just going to watch. So, come into your complete Ustra asana, or whatever variation you can manage, and then breathe in through the mouth and blast out. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Release, just maximum 6 rounds. And come back to sit on your heels. Now, if anyone feels dizzy, that can be quite common to feel dizzy here. You can just bring the head forward onto the mat and take a few breaths if you do feel dizzy. Otherwise, we're going to repeat the practice twice more. Okay, so when you're ready, breathe in, lift up into your Ustra, Camel, and then 6 rounds, blasting breath. Relax, take a little rest, take a moment. Lovely. And one more round when you're ready. Up into your Ustra. Feel into the back lower lobes. Blast the breath. Great. Release, and let's come forward on that after the 3rd round into our Dharmakasana. So head on the mat, catch the feet, take a few breaths and just relax your spine. Lovely. And then whenever you're ready, release. You might want to stretch out the legs, have some more water, bounce the legs. The pranayama does involve sitting and breathing, but we have to do this first. This is the preparation to be able to perform pranayama properly. So, sorry if you were hoping to sit here for an hour. Okay, so next we have a posture. I feel like can you still hear me okay at the back? Yeah. We're going to do a posture that helps us direct the air into the lower lobes, called the Shasha Asana, the rabbit. So we're going to bring the elbows to the knees, palms face down, lift up with the chin, and focus the mind into the lower lobes of the lungs, where you've been working. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. So breathe out to start. Feel into your lower lobes. Breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Try and keep the chin up, out. Wonderful, and release. Lift up, stretch out our legs. Okay. So we're going to move on to the mid section of the lungs now. If it is really too much for you sitting on the heels, by the way, you can sit cross-legged, but you need to be very conscious to keep your spine lengthened up, because very often in cross-legged we tend to slouch back. But the Vajrasana posture on the heels really helps us stay lifted up straight. Okay, so we're going to come back to our Sparsha Mudra, and this time we're going to bring it on the front mid section of the lungs. So yes, ladies, it's in that very awkward place. We don't care because we're yogis. Okay, so front midsection of the lungs. Let's take 3 breaths here. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Feel behind the palms. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In, out. Great. Now release the palms. So to breathe into the front midsection of our lungs, we use our Matsyasana sequence, fish. So the first variation, gentle variation, I'll demonstrate. We just drop the elbows back. And we're going to lift the head and open up with mid-chest. Drop the head back. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. And we're going to consciously breathe into the front midsection of the lungs. So are we all there? Head back. Breathe out to start. Front mid lobes. Breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Now release onto the mat. Lie back. And from here, it's quite important we release the neck. So roll the head now, side to side. And release your neck. Just take a few breaths, rolling the head. Just take a nice deep breath. And slowly we can sit up. Normally it would take a bit more time over these practices, but we have a time limit. So again, Sparsha Mudra, we'll just stay here because we're going to go back down again. We're going to bring to the side of the mid lobes. So side of your mid lobes. Breathe out. In. Out. In. Feel behind the palms. Out. Make sure you're at the side, so level with the heart. In. Out. Great, release. Keep your awareness there. We're going to go back again into our second Matsyasana. And this time we're going to bring the head onto the floor if you can. Top of the head on the mat, and then bring the palms on top of the pelvis. And lift up with your mid-chest. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here, feeling into the side of your mid-lobes. Breathe out. And in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Again, push on your elbows, relax to the mat and roll the head. Ease out your neck. Release the neck. Take a nice deep breath. Okay. Gently lift up. Push yourself back up to sitting. Going to move to the back of the mid-lobe. So it is quite a stretch. Trying to bring our Sparsha Mudra to the back of the mid-lobes. But see if you can. Sometimes I will cross the arms so I actually feel with the back of the hands. So just see what you prefer. Let's take 3 breaths here. Breathe out. And in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. And release. You might want to shake the hands. Okay, so our third Matsyasana, to reach into the back of those mid-lobes. We're going to try to come into the full Padmasana, if that's available to you. Otherwise, Ardha Padma, or just simple cross-legged. And again, we drop back into our Matsyasana, head on the mat, and catch your feet if you are in your Padmasana. This helps increase the circulation up into the mid-chest and energetically locking the lower body, so we're increasing the prana around the mid-chest. Breathe out, focus into the back mid-lobes. Breathe in, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, out, in, out. Now push on your elbows, release the head to the mat, and relax the legs, and again roll your head. Ease out your neck. Make sure we always release any potential tension. Yep, hearing all that coughing going on, it's working, it's working. And then, nice and gently, we're going to make our way back up to sitting. Have some water. And then we're going to practice our Shasha rabbit for the mid lobes. So this helps direct the airflow into the midsection. So this one, what's going on here? You bring the wrists to the knees and just lift up through your spine, chin up, and focus into the mid-chest. Bring your awareness there. Most important thing is to bring your mind, your awareness, your intention into the mid-chest now, intercostal region. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Now drop the head, relax the neck a moment. Maybe move the head side to side if you like. And then release. Great. Is everybody okay? Okay, so now we're going to come up to the upper lobes of our lungs. By the way, if anyone here is really into their anatomy and physiology, you might be thinking the left mid-lobe is the heart, which is true. But there's also something called the lingular lobe, which is basically the remnants of the midsection through evolution, as my teacher has taught me, that has kind of got a bit pushed up into the upper lobe. So we still, in yoga, we do the practice as though there's a mid-lobe there, okay? So, but if anyone wants to learn more about that, I can forward you a video where my teacher, who's a doctor, tells you all about it. Okay, so upper lobes, let's again come to use our Sparsha Mudra. Upper lobes right under the kind of collarbone area. So this is the hardest part to actually feel. This is the part we don't normally reach. And we have the stale, residual, stuck air hanging around the upper lobes. So see if you can feel any movement now in these upper lobes right under the collarbone area. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In, out. Release, have a little shake. So as I said, we have the trapped air in the upper lobes. So we have a posture now that we use to get that air out. So I will demonstrate. It's called the Mahamudra. And we use it just to push out this trapped air. So I'm going to take a deep breath in here. Then I will breathe out, bring the head to the mat. Just watch. Now I'm not breathing in. I'm still on the exhale, and I'm going to lift the arms. And this kind of pumps out that air. Then release when I need to breathe in. I lift chin, then chest. And we'll repeat that 3 times. So you should hear, as you're lifting up with the arms, you'll hear some air coming out, even though you think you've fully exhaled already. So let's have a go. You can keep the mouth closed and just exhale through the nose, yeah. Okay, so when you're ready, deep breath in. Breathing out, fold forward. Head to the mat. Do not breathe in and start lifting your arms. Then breathe in and lift the chest, the chin. Come back to seated. Lovely. Repeat. Breathe out, fold forward. Just going to watch you guys. Empty the lungs. And then lifting the arms. That's great. And then when you feel like, if I don't breathe in, I'm going to die, you can lift up. And one more round in your own time. As you breathe out, fold forward. Empty the lungs. And then lifting the arms. Wonderful. And when you're ready, lift up again. Take a breath. Relax. Right. If you want to release your ankles, come forward a moment, give them a shake. And you want another sip of water. Okay, so the next posture for the side of the upper lobes. Now we're going to use our Sparsha Mudra, but we don't actually put it into our armpits for this particular one. So what we do, we just bring the hands to the hips. I'll just lift up so you can all see. We just bring the hands to the hips and imagine the space behind your armpits. And we're going to breathe and imagine. This is how my teacher describes it. Sounds a bit odd. That we're sucking the air in and out through the armpits, okay? We don't want to put our hands into the armpits. So just feel that space there. Breathe out. And breathe in. Feel into the side, upper lobes. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. And release. So, again, very similar to our last Kriya. I'll just demonstrate. We breathe in here. Breathe out, fold forward, empty the lungs completely. And this time we're going to clasp the hands and pump. And then we release. Breathe in. And repeat 3 times, okay? So, when you're ready, just breathe out to start. Breathe in, fill your lungs. Breathe out, fold forward. Clasp the hands and pump. And then release the arms, breathe in, lift the chin, then the chest. And continue out, fold forward. Catch the hands and pump out that stale, stuck air. When you need to breathe in, lift up. And then last round in your own time. And release. Great. You want to relax your ankles again, give them a shake. Okay, so we're going to move into the back of the upper lobes now. So Sparsha Mudra on the back, the upper lobes, and if you can't see me, we've got an Andy there, don't forget, walking around trying to show the hand positions as well. So feel behind your palms, breathe out, back upper lobes, breathe in, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, out, in, out. Lovely. Gently release. Have a shake. Now, posture for getting the air into the back of the upper lobes. You can just watch. I'm going to come to all fours. Elbows down to the side. I'm going to try and bring the chest forward. So this acts as a type of drainage for the lungs. Head to the side. And I'm going to take 3 deep breaths here, focusing into the back of the upper lobes. Okay, so let's get into position. You may or may not be able to get the chest on the mat, but see what you can do as long as we've got that drainage, so your bottom's going to be a lot higher than the top of the body. And focus into the back upper lobes. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. And out. Lovely. You can push back to your Shashanka, just push through the arms, come back onto your heels, relax, forehead on the mat. Shashanka Asana. And then gently release, lift up. You might want to relax your legs. Give them a shake, a bounce, circle. Who knew breathing could be so hard? But it's worth it. Get a lot more energy, prana, life force, energy. If you have any energy issues, or you know people with energy issues, my bet is they need to breathe properly, because it completely changed my energy levels after learning how to breathe properly. Okay, so our next posture is the shasha. Again, we have another rabbit to help breathe into these upper lobes. I'll just demonstrate. I'm going to breathe in here, then I will breathe out, bring the head to the mat. Now breathe in and roll up on top of the head. And here, focus into the upper lobes. Breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, lift. And breathe out. So as you are rolling up on the head, it kind of creates a bit of space there because the shoulders drop down and you can really consciously expand into the upper lobes. Okay, should we give it a go? So, I'm sorry, we're back in our Vajrasana. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, roll up on the head, focus into the upper lobes. Out, roll back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, lift. And repeat, breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, roll up on the head. Out, roll back. In, lift up. One more, out, forward. In as you roll up on the head, feel into the upper lobes. And breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, lift. And relax, lovely, release. Stretch out your legs. You're doing really well. A little bounce and a stretch. We're going to come to our complete breathing now. Mahat Yoga Pranayama. Breathing equally into all parts of the lungs. So quite often we find that we're not breathing equally into all parts, but for proper yogic breathing, we will be breathing an equal ratio into the 3 sections. So Sparsha Mudra, this time just bring the left hand on the lower lobes, and the right hand is kind of covering the mid and upper lobes. And we're going to try to feel the flow of the breath now as it flows lower, then mid, then upper on your inhale. As you exhale, empties lower, then mid, then upper. You can do it from lying down, it's fine. So breathe out. Breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Great. Just release your Sparsha Mudra. Take a breath. Just feel your lungs. So our 3 kriyas for opening equally the 3 sections. We start, I'll demonstrate, with our Sharabha kriya, which is a kind of Indian style griffin. So we breathe out to start, we breathe in, lift the right leg up, lift the head, right lung, and breathe out, release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll alternate, left leg, breathe in, and out. Okay, so let's do 3 each side, come to all fours, Chatuspada, and breathe out to start. Now right leg, in, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, left leg, in, out, right, in, out, left, in, out, right, in, out, and left, in, out. Take a breath. Next we have our Chiri Kriya, quicker action. So I think we can just go with this one. Breathe out to start. Now right leg, breathe in, lift up as we did before. This time as you breathe out, knee to forehead or toward the forehead. Really helps with our exhale, emptying. Breathe in, lift the right leg, stay with the right side. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. Release the knee, take a breath. Now 3 on the left side. Breathing in, lift the left leg up, lift the head. Breathe out, knee to forehead. Empty the lungs. In. Out. In. And out, knee to forehead. Lovely, let's push back to our Shashanka for a moment. Relax, back to the heels. Take a few deep breaths, let go. Quite important in our tradition to have little breaks, breathers. We take a breather from breathing. And then we're going to come back up when you're ready. So now our final Kriya is Vyagraha Pranayama, the tiger breathing. So I think you all know this one. You breathe out to start from all fours, and then you breathe in and you dip the spine, filling the lower, then the mid, upper lobes, lift the head. Then you breathe out, slowly arch up from the spine, lower spine, empty, lower, mid, upper lobes. This is all about the breath, tiger breathing. So let's do 3 rounds. In, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, lower, mid, upper lobes. Out, empty the lower, mid, upper lobes. Let's do 3 more rounds. In, filling the front, the side and the back of your lungs. As you breathe out, empty from the back and the side and then the front of your lungs. In. Out. In. Out. And when you're done again, let's push back just briefly to our Shashanka Asana. Relax. Take a few breaths. And then release. Lift up, stretch out your legs, have a little bounce, shake. So, now we can practice pranayama because we open the lungs. And when we train in the ashram in India, we all measure our lungs actually, which is quite a good thing to maybe do yourselves. There's a tape measure where we breathe out, you take the measurement in inches, and then you breathe in, and you see the difference in inches, okay? So to be like a healthy healthy person, you're looking for like a 3-inch minimum difference there. And when I first started training, I was like 2 inches or something in each part because I had the breathing problems. But it turns out a lot of people now have less than 3, just because life and stress and the nervous system. So it'd be good to check yourselves out. But after this training and these practices that I've just taught you, I got 6 inches in each section of my lungs. So I like tripled my breath capacity. And as I said, consequently completely changed so much of my life, my energy levels, my capacity to breathe, just everything. It's amazing. So yeah, it's a good little thing to do maybe when you get home or whatever. Okay, so we're going to do now the sectional breathing using our hasta mudras. So these are the hand mudras that are related to the different sections of the lungs. So sit comfortably, and ideally, again, it would be the Vajrasana, but if you are cross-legged, then keep your spine lifted up, keep checking about your spine. So the lower lobes of the lungs, we use Chin Mudra. So I don't know if you can see this, I might stand up, and also Anandi will show you. Chin Mudra is the thumb and the first finger are making a circle. The other 3 fingers are together and extended. Keep them together, extended straight, okay? And then you put them face down at the top of the thighs. So they're kind of like here, just on the top of the thighs. Yeah. And this mudra, universal gesture, is connecting and directing all the nadis to make us predominantly breathe into the lower lobes of the lungs. So we're going to take a few breaths here using our sukha rhythm. Feel into the lower lobes and breathe out. Breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Three more. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Great, just release your mudra, take a breath. Just feel, observe. I'm going to come up to the mid lobes. If you need to release your ankles, you can take a moment, have a shake, otherwise. The mudra for the mid lobes is Chin Maya Mudra. So those 3 fingers we now roll into your palm. Chin Maya Mudra. Lovely. So keep the first finger and thumb together. Roll the 3 fingers into your palm. Back on top of the thighs. Great. And focus the mind into your mid-chest area. Front, side and back. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and release your mudra. Take a breath. Observe inside. And then we'll move up to the upper lobes of the lungs. So the mudra, Adi mudra for the upper lobes. This time the thumb is inside the palm, fingers around the thumb. Okay, thumb inside, fingers around, back, face down on top of your thighs. Make sure they're face down. Okay, focus into the upper lobes of your lungs now. Just remember those points behind the collarbone, behind the armpit, the back, the shoulder blades. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. And release your mudra, take a breath. Observe inside. If you want to release the ankles, come forward and give them a shake. Have a sip of water. Keep hydrated. And then our mudra for complete breathing. So bringing all three parts together. So the mudra we just did, but we join them together. So thumb inside, fingers around. Join them together at the navel, belly button region, and the knuckles will be touching. Okay? Bit of a stretch at the belly button, so touch the hands together if you can. Great. Now equally breathing into all three sections, lower, mid, upper. Breathe out to start. And in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. Lower, mid, upper. In. Out. In. In, out, in, out. And release your mudra. Take a breath. Feel inside. Relax. Just observe. And then just to close off our physical practice now, we're going to again perform the Mukha Bhastrika that we did right at the start, because we might have stirred up quite a bit of toxins through the practices. The lungs is the whole universe. Don't forget, if you spread out the cells of the lungs to a flat area, it fills half a tennis court. And we access a lot of memory when we breathe deeply, because we breathed from the moment we were born. We breathed in, inspiration, and then we leave this body on an exhalation, expiration, out spirit. So we again 3 rounds of our Mukha Bhastrika. Nice deep breath in. And you lift. In. And catch your feet and hold in a Dharmakasana. Head toward the knees and just breathe here. And then gently lift up. I'm going to balance. You can use either the gentle back bend here or come right back into your Supta Vajrasana. And take a few breaths here. And then release, relax, and you're going to lie down on your mats. You're going to have a bit of Shavasana time. We never skip that in our tradition, and ideally we like to do 30 minutes Shavasana, but we don't have time. We also like to face the head to the direction of the north, which is that way, but I don't know if you want to bother to move your mats. But we're quite strict about all these things in our tradition, so that we are in line with the polar energies of the earth. So we're like a small magnet within a large magnet, and this helps the pranic flow of our body. So head to north, feet to south. If you all do that, it'll be fine. So lie back. We've got 10 minutes, which is kind of our minimum Shavasana time. So we're going to just scan through your body and just shake out any niggles, tensions. And if you need to make any movements just to release tensions, just please do that. And I'm going to bring the mind back to the breath, just in case you forgot about it. We're going to do 9 rounds of our Sukha Rhythm Pranayama, and then we're just going to let go and relax. So again, try to consciously breathe into all parts of your lungs, lower, mid, upper lobes, front, side, back. Breathe out to start. Breathing in, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, out, 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 in, out. Now you can either keep going on your own, if you're still quite mentally active, keep following the breath. Otherwise, just completely let go now, relax. And start to slowly, gently bring your awareness back. And start to take a few deep breaths. Breathe deep. Breathe in through your nose. Gently hiss or whoosh out through the mouth 3 times. To gently wiggle the fingers, the toes, and roll the head side to side. Make some small movements. Start to stretch out with your legs and arms. Lengthen and stretch through the body. You can draw your knees up to your chest and start to gently rock side to side. Easing out your back. And just flop over onto the left side to activate our Surya Nadi, the right nostril, to become active again. Just relax here, a few deep breaths. Lie on the left side. And slowly start to make your way up into a comfortable sitting position. Bring the palms to the heart. I'm going to chant a mantra to finish off. Om Loka Samasta Sukhinu Bhavantu Sarve Janaha Sukhinu Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Let's just give our palms a rub. Drop your eyes and blink into your palms. And then gently sweep head, neck, shoulders. Namaste.